Oh man, today we continue our Rotten Eggs triple feature with James Cameron's 1986 sci-fi space shooter. The unearthly eggs are hatching, man. The human chests are bursting, and it's Ripley versus royalty as we investigate the remains of an extraterrestrial ghost town to meet a family of phallic-headed flesh feeders and their cosmic queen, commonly known as Bitch in Aliens, man.
Why do you sound like Bill Murray?
It wasn't Bill Murray, it was Bill Paxton. It was Hudson.
I got Hudson. I totally got it.
Thank you.
That was great.
I got a
game over.
Big dose of Bill Murray in that.
That was not Bill Murray. I sounded just like Bill Paxton. I sounded just like Hudson.
Oh, man.
Awesome.
You didn't like it.
No, it was good.
Danny liked it.
You're listening to How I Met Your Monster, a podcast that explores the introductions to your favorite movie monsters. My name's Zach.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Casey.
And together we dive into the world of horror to find out how filmmakers have introduced us to our favorite monsters time and time again. This is How I Met Your Monster.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left.
Who are you? Explorers in the further regions of experience. Demons to some, angels to others.
Call you Meatloaf! Surprise, Sydney.
Welcome to How I Met Your Monster, the show where we discuss the introductions to your favorite movie monsters. Hi, Danny. I see you waving.
Welcome.
If you're new to the show, make sure to follow us wherever you get your horror movie podcasts, whether that's Apple or Spotify or Amazon, wherever you listen to horror movie podcasts. Make sure to follow How I Met Your Monster. And guys, today we're talking about a horror movie that was nominated for 7 Academy Awards.
Whoa.
And I guess, like, you know, with horror having like a bad rap with the Oscars, you might consider this like a sci-fi action movie, which probably, I don't know if that's has a better track record with the Oscars or not, but of course we're talking about Aliens.
But they put every horror movie into a different category anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? So
Hollywood's full of multi-hyphenates, and Aliens is just another one.
This would be in the musical comedy category.
That's right.
That's right. Totally. 100%.
Right. And Bob's Burgers, don't they do Aliens the musical?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
Oh, they're if you're whether you're a fan or you're not a fan, you need to check out the episode where they don't even spoof it. They just recreate Aliens, and they do it really wonderfully.
So how long was that episode?
It's got to be like a hard 23 minutes.
No, I think it's about 2.5 hours. I think it was about 2.5 hours. I think there was probably like 20 minutes in there that would have made Zach really angry.
So they were able to tell the whole Aliens story in 23 minutes.
It's interesting because I'm a 90-minute, I love a 90-minute runtime, but I don't have any issues with this movie. I really don't.
Dude, I'm telling you, 20 minutes shorter and it would be perfect.
I don't know. I like all of it.
Zach, I typically like to meet in the middle. I'm a meet in the middle kind of guy, you know? I'm a classic Malcolm, as they say. And I have to agree. I'm a
classic Frankie Muniz.
Yeah.
I'm a classic race car driver.
Yeah, I'm old school race car driver, Frankie Muniz. But I've got to go with Casey on this one. And the thing with Aliens, and we're about to board that ship.
Getting deep into space.
Deep space. We're about to go Deep Space Nine on this movie. And there's something about this movie that works for me where I would be very disappointed if it was shorter, because like so many great epics, they work on that scale because they take their time in like the minutia, you kind of just like sit in it. Some things you really marinate in those moments. And I think that's what makes certain payoffs work, because you get to exist in this world rather than just experience the events. But with that said, to each their own. I totally get what you're saying. It is I don't know if I would say cumbersome because I just complimented the movie, but there are some moments that I totally get it. I just disagree.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah. I love it.
You're wrong.
I didn't even know. While I was watching it, I was like, is this the part that Zach is talking about? Is this the part that Zach is talking about? I don't even know.
Dude. Okay. So they, Ripley wakes up and it's the whole thing. And then she goes to work and then they do the thing. And then they have to go to the mess hall and then they have to go to this. And then they have to go
but you're establishing
talk to the
characters.
team. And then they have to go on the boat ride or the fucking ship ride. And then they have to go into the rain. Then they go into the thing and there's all the broken stuff, but they don't find anything. So then they come back and they search around for a lot and they see a fucking donut on the fucking table and they come back and then they're like, oh, we didn't find anything. Oh, here's the town over here. But it's like, dude, what happened there?
Zach,
Do you think
think that
now,
continue.
to be fair, I do understand the character building at the beginning with in the mess hall and all this stuff. But really for me, what I've been joking a lot about cutting out 20 minutes, maybe
our classic Frankie Muniz over here,
maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. But the part that really loses me is when they get on the fucking LV 426 or something. And they go in there and there's like, they're searching around and they don't find anything. And then they have to come back and then they go out again. And it's like, that should just be one thing.
I totally get it.
Because I'm snoring at this point. I'm like,
I have a question. Do you think, because I've seen this movie so many times that it's hard to see it from another angle, do you think it's possible that they were drawing some things out without seeing any aliens for Ripley to kind of like, there's a lot of seed planting in this movie, a lot of extraterrestrial seed planting, but do you think they were planting seeds of doubt in her to kind of really like explore all these avenues of like, well, Ripley, if there were aliens, where are they?
Yeah.
Or am I just kind of grasping for straws and to defend this runtime?
I don't know. That's a good point. I can see that. But if that's the case, they don't like play into that.
They don't say that. They don't accentuate it.
Like Burke isn't like Burke played by
Paul Reiser.
the guy, Paul Reiser. If that was the case, I thought maybe, I would think maybe he would have a line where he's like,
yeah, hit it home.
Ripley, where are these aliens that you're talking about? Or like, where are these things? I don't know.
That's fair.
But
so what you're saying is if you had produced a famous epic like Lawrence of Arabia, you would cut that beautiful scene where he strikes the match and we match cut to that beautiful sunrise and we see the silhouette riding through the desert. And we just sit on that moment for quite a while and we let the music kind of soak up the space and we really live in that desert. You're telling me you would just cut that is what you're basically saying.
Well, Danny, here's the thing. I've never seen that movie.
So you hate epics.
Is that a sci-fi action movie?
For all intents and purposes, yes. Now, traditionally speaking, no, but technically, yeah. They never really say what planet they're on. I'll just say that.
Okay, let me do this, dude. We're spending way too much time on this, but maybe James Cameron was, since he was taking the movie in a different direction, going from more of like a horror thing to more of like an action thing.
Official term.
Like, maybe he was like, oh, we'll start out the movie as like a slow burn horror, and then we're gonna switch it up and take it.
I think that like there was more suspense like there was in the original Alien movie.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, it almost feels like an extension of one, and then it becomes James Cameron's take on it.
Yeah.
I like that read on it.
See, guys, the guy who wants the movie shorter is the one that just came up with that.
I was thinking it the whole time, actually.
But you didn't say it.
That's because there was a train and I I muted my mic so you guys wouldn't hear the fucking train.
Always got to be a fucking train.
Casey's just like agreeing, just like, but she can't say it because the train.
Okay. You guys, we're talking about James Cameron's Aliens.
We are.
Sure.
His second fucking movie after Terminator.
You know, it's funny. We normally are like, ooh, first time watch for this one. No, we've all seen this 100 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say
Probably one of the first genre movies I've ever seen.
I'm just going to say it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the Alien franchise as a whole, except Alien 3. It doesn't exist. But I love
It exists.
I hate it.
Come on. You don't have to like it.
3 is a dark horse that when I went back and rewatched it, I was like, I feel like I'm going to like this movie.
Oh,
And then I didn't.
it's horrible.
There are moments that I like.
Dude, I really wouldn't mind part 3 at all if they did the aliens right.
I just think I didn't like any of it. But
that took me completely out of it because I was like kind of into it and it's like different. It's like the prison and all this stuff and it's kind of cool. But then when the CG alien comes on, you're just completely taken out of it. And I actually wouldn't mind it. It's
incredible director, incredible cast, really interesting story, but something just doesn't.
Yeah, I didn't. But I love Alien. I love Aliens. I think that my favorite final girl ever is Ripley. But yeah, growing up as like a woman and watching horror movies and stuff, she's just the coolest fucking one to me.
Yeah.
And Xenomorphs are probably my favorite monster. So you put those two together.
That's true.
Pumpkinhead, cover your ears.
No, I love Pumpkinhead too, but Pumpkinhead wouldn't exist if Xenomorphs didn't. So.
Oh, yeah.
You don't think?
I don't
Was
think.
Pumpkinhead
Stan Winston,
Stan Winston, right? Both are
Yes.
Stan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like Stan Winston created Xenomorphs and then he wrote and directed and created Pumpkinhead. So no, I don't think that Pumpkinhead would exist in the same way. He didn't create Xenomorphs first.
Did Stan Winston create Xenomorphs?
Yes.
No. Okay. I have a little history here.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah. I love history.
Okay. So turning back the clocks to the first Alien, Ridley Scott's Alien, the screenwriter Dan O'Bannon, he actually recommended H.R. Giger to Ridley Scott. He showed him a copy of Giger's book called Necronomicon. And in the book, there's something called Necronomicon 4 from 1976, and they treated that as the basis of the Alien's design. So yes, Stan Winston came in and created these masterful, displays of the alien, but it was Giger that's where the design came from.
I did.
Right.
Giger said he wanted the look of the xenomorph to be both erotic and repulsive and also organic while also being mechanical looking.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stan Winston took over in Aliens, the sequel, kept the basic look of it. The only real difference was James Cameron wanted the aliens to be more aggressive, a little faster, essentially to match the tone of the movie. So classic sequel fashion, just kind of up everything.
Mm-hmm.
And also speaking of xenomorphs, since we're going to be spending so much time talking about them, did you know that the word xenomorph it's not a word that was created for this? It's not a made up name. It's derived from Greek roots, 2 words, xeno meaning foreign or strange, and morph meaning form or shape, which is obvious. So you put it together. So later when one of the characters, I think it's
Gorman
refers to xenomorphs. He wasn't saying like, hey, there's a creature we found and it's called a xenomorph. He's just saying, hey, we found this weird looking thing.
Okay. And, I wondered about that.
Yeah. And we're going to call it a xenomorph because we're very technical. It just so happened that the term stuck. And I think it also helps. It's not like people are going around being like, wow, look at that. Pretty xenomorphic looking, that strange looking thing. So I think it was easy for them to kind of steal the name for themselves.
Oh, okay. So like he just says it because of being technical, and that's how they got their name.
Yes.
Oh,
Nito burrito.
Okay. In a burrito?
Nito
burrito.
Oh, a Nito burrito. Cool beans in a Nito burrito.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I guess they didn't even contact H.R. Giger for this movie. They just were like, okay, we've got the design, whatever. And I guess James Cameron designed the Queen.
Oh, I did not know that.
Alien, based off of the original design. And then he went in and
she should
did
have
the Queen.
She should have a giant helmet. That's in little hands.
She will
on
have a
her
giant
chest
helmet.
instead of nipples.
Little hands. I wanted to have little hands. Just gotta have little hands. Hey,
Yeah, Giger was
Winston. Hey, Mr. Winston. Where are the little hands I asked for?
Is that what James Cameron sounds like?
Yeah, it's actually one of the better impersonations I've heard.
Yeah. I want the big helmet and the little hands.
Sounds like Bill Murray.
I was thinking more Paxton. No, actually, Giger was actually not very happy when he found out that he was not wanted for this movie.
Oh, sure.
So there was some bad blood in the water, in the alien water.
Almost like acid blood.
Yeah, there was some bad acid blood, some Bassett blood.
Yep. Damn. But I did mention at the beginning of this episode that Aliens was nominated for 7 Academy Awards, and it won 2. So Sigourney Weaver was nominated for Best Actress.
Oh, love it.
Best Art Direction, Best Editing, Best Sound, Best Original Score from James Horner, who so many good scores.
Yeah.
I was looking at his like filmography and it's like, oh my God.
Quite prolific. A lot of James Cameron movies.
God,
he's good.
And then it also won, but it did win for Best Sound Effects Editing and Best Visual Effects. Stan Winston won for visual effects, and a guy named Don Sharp won for sound editing.
Oh yeah,
some sharp sound.
Must be the sound of those blaster guns.
Blaster?
Yeah.
I hardly know her.
That's what won the voters over.
Oh, so speaking of the guns in this movie,
speaking of blasting,
speaking of blasters, the guns in this were like built over actual guns. Like they took like real guns and then like put more stuff on top of them to make them
that's funny.
More sci-fi.
Interesting. Why wouldn't you use squirt guns?
Well, because it needed to blast. I needed to make a blast.
Yeah, that makes sense. A blast.
But what I think is cool is those. I call them the big dick guns. This is our second movie in our Rotten Eggs triple feature that feature a big dick gun.
You're right.
Yeah.
Danny, if Jurassic Park doesn't have a big dick gun,
you're in trouble.
Jurassic Park has the ultimate big dick gun. You actually see it put together.
So just Jeff Goldblum?
No, it's it's when he literally builds he makes his dick bigger and bigger as he's preparing to hunt a velociraptor. Spoiler alert for our next episode.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe we shouldn't have called this triple feature Rotten Eggs, but big dick guns.
Big dick swinging.
But the big swinging dick gun in this movie was an actual machine gun, right? Mounted on a Steadicam harness. So a Steadicam harness, for people who don't know, is like they mount cameras on it to give you like smooth tracking shots. So it was just a Steadicam harness and a machine gun, and they put Kawasaki motorcycle parts all over it.
That's awesome.
So you can see like handles, like the throttles and like the little brake levers and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's so cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, he actually wrote it in the script and this is true, he said he wanted the gun to look like a Steadicam. I swear to God, that's not, I know I tend to do.
I thought you were going to say a Kawasaki motorcycle.
He's like, imagine if they're just holding a motorcycle, but it's a gun.
They're like, James, what do you want the guns to look like? And he's like,
that's specifically what turned voters on to giving Stan Winston the Oscar, because they were like, how you took that direction and translated it into what we saw on screen is a work of pure magic.
I want a helmet and little hands.
So like, James, you're killing me.
Well, what about the guns?
It's a motorcycle. Like, wow, James Cameron has a reputation, but I did not know that this is what the reputation was.
But that's like, you make him sound like a toddler.
I want
big hands.
The guns are a bicycle and the hands are little, but the head's got a helmet and it's real. The head's really big, but the hands are really small.
Yeah.
Like, James, what are you talking about?
It'll work. Trust me.
Like, we have an entire successful
it'll work. Trust me.
Movie to build off of. You don't have to reinvent anything. It's there. Just copy it.
Okay.
Oh God. But Sigourney Weaver had a big problem with the guns, actually. She had a big problem being in a movie with all the guns because she's very anti-gun.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess
she's more anti-aliens though, so she was like, all right.
That's true. She's like, yeah. She was talking about how she gives to anti-gun groups like every year.
Wow.
And on the flip side of that, Bill Paxton said shooting the guns was his favorite part of the job.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
The duality of man right there on screen and aliens.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
But that's why we love them both, because we know Bill would never want to hurt a person. It's okay to think a gun is cool, but I trust Bill Paxton with a gun.
Do you? Okay.
R.I.P.
Goodness gracious.
Not with an axe, though. If you've seen Frailty, you know what I mean.
Ooh, that's a good movie.
I love Frailty.
We need to do that on the show.
Yeah,
Man,
that'd be cool.
A minute. It used to scare me.
All right. Well, are you guys ready to head to LV426 and get on our little Cybertruck thing?
Fuck yeah. Oh, wait. We have to get in the Cybertruck?
Yeah.
Mm.
So, okay. I watched this with my son who's 9 years old now, and this is his first time watching. I actually showed him Aliens 3. It was his first rated R movie.
Wow.
And it was the wrong choice for that.
Yeah, but it was a Fincher movie, so when he's in film school someday, he'll appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, you want to watch Aliens? He's like, yeah, okay. So we were like, he's got to stay up late because we can't watch it till my daughter goes to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it was late. I was like, you can stay up late. We can watch Aliens. It'll be really cool for you. So he gets down and we're watching it. That tank comes on. And this is what he says. He says, that looks like a tank mixed with a Cybertruck. Definitely ugly.
That's hilarious.
Definitely
and
ugly.
That was so funny. But want to know what sucks?
It's got good instinct.
He got scared and stopped watching right before the fucking aliens come out. He watched all the boring shit. And once he got to the part where they were like going in the xenomorph like nest and you see the people like in the walls, in like the cocoon things.
That's arguably like the scariest part of the movie, not like the jumpiest, because there are like jump scares and stuff and more tense scares. But as far as like classic horror, like seeing someone cocooned but still alive and then immediately have something exploding out of their chest and then being burned alive.
Yeah.
If ever there was a scene for a kid to like be like, I gotta like close my tab on this one tonight, I'm sorry, it's that one.
I agree.
Yeah. He was done. He was like, I think I'm done with this. And I was like, oh, you're gonna miss like the facehugger attack. And he said, that's okay, I don't care. And like a piece of me broke inside. I was like, oh, okay.
I have an idea for how you might win him over to finish the movie and maybe even embark on watching the rest of the franchise. And it's what worked on all of us 90s kids back in the day. You got to get him some old school Alien branded toys.
Oh, he plays with mine.
Then scratch that.
I've got like 3 aliens.
I guess it's not going to work.
And he plays with them. And
which ones do you have? That's also going to have a big difference on how excited you're getting him.
Oh, okay. So let me take a step back.
You're like, I have Gorman.
No.
Burke. But it's Burke from Mad About You, and I just like repurposed him as his character here.
No, they're not like the ones that we had when we were kids. Like, I remember having like Ripley and Vasquez and Hicks. And then I had a bunch of like the aliens that were all different, like, they had like all crazy ones, like the bull alien that you could squeeze the back of its head and it shot water and all shit. And like the queen that you'd like press the back.
I had the queen. I literally
but it had like wings. It had like wings.
I didn't have that one.
Yeah, this was it was like the queen, but it had wings. It was fucking weird.
Okay.
These are like NECA figures, right?
Oh.
And so he plays with them, and when he left, I went and checked on him in his bedroom later, and he was still awake. And he's like, I'm scared. And I was like, oh. I said, it's okay. Like Ripley she's out there killing them all right now. Like, don't even worry about it.
That's cute.
And I said, do you want me to give you like the alien toy that you can play with that you have played with in the past so that you know that it's like fake? And he's like, no, I'm good. I just didn't want to see the people in the walls. I was like, okay.
Well, like, okay. So
I get it.
He cares about his fellow man. You're raising him right.
No.
There is good in the moral of the story. But come on, Sam, you got to finish the movie. Fucking classic.
Got to finish it. Anyways, this isn't a kid watching aliens for the first time podcast.
No.
This is a horror movie podcast about aliens.
Yes.
James Cameron's way
Aliens.
too long second feature.
Mhm.
Yes. And we're about to make this our way too long second feature in our Rotten Eggs triple feature.
That's right.
You're not
ready.
wrong.
It's going to be the longest fucking episode just to prove you guys wrong that it should be
Let's
about
do it,
20 minutes shorter. All right, let's go meet some xenomorphs.
All right, man.
Okay, so for aliens, we have 10 official monster reveals. If you're new to the show, a monster reveal is anytime the monster is revealed to us as an audience member or to a character in the movie. So we have 10 for aliens. Casey,
Yeah.
you were so kind and so generous as to pick this for
Don't.
our
Why?
Casey, thank you.
Thank you, Casey.
complaining. I believe Danny.
Twist, I was lying the whole time.
Danny liked this movie.
I did.
Hey, I like the movie.
I know.
I just take a little nap for at the beginning.
It's good. It gets you pumped.
Could you picked this for our Rotten Eggs triple feature? So could you please read the synopsis from IMDb? See what they have to say about it.
IMDb has to say, decades after surviving the Nostromo incident, Ellen Ripley is sent out to reestablish contact with a terraforming colony, but finds herself battling the alien queen and her offspring.
Oh, okay.
Not bad.
Okay.
Gets
I feel
to
like
the
they
point.
should have said half a century after the
Yeah.
events of the first film.
Yeah.
Like decades sounds
It should have been Paul
like-
Reiser convinces Ellen Ripley to help him help the company,
yeah.
help capitalism.
But 57 years. She was almost out there for 6 decades.
It's been
Yeah, that's wild.
57 years.
It's been 80.
James Cameron loves the long.
does.
He went from 57 to 84, and the new Avatar would be like, it was 122 years. Like, all right, Jake, just because you're in that new blue body doesn't mean you get to not age.
I don't know anything about Avatar.
Well, that's a classic reference. All the Avatar heads are they're cracking up right now.
Avatar heads. You didn't watch Avatar?
No.
Interesting. First one's very good.
You have a chart, haven't? I was trying to do Avatar with haven't, and it doesn't work.
Okay. So yeah, she's battling xenomorphs again against her
Yeah.
best wishes.
She's got to, though.
Yeah. She's got to battle those inner demons.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, it is kind of like an inner demon that bursts out of your chest.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because our very first honorable mention is Ripley's stomach boner in her dream.
Stomach boner. Zach, you can't
She's
just
got
have
15.
that in your back pocket and then just drop it like it's nothing.
All right, so
The movie picks up. We think it's right after the events of the first movie, when in fact it is 57 years after the events of the first movie. And
Yeah.
Ripley is scooped up by the company, which I believe, I don't think they ever actually say it in the movie, but is Weyland-Yutani, which is the company that is referenced throughout this entire franchise.
Oh, yeah.
And in this one, it's essentially mostly being represented by Paul Reiser's Burke.
I
Listen.
wonder if you see it like on any of like the key cards or anything, or
You must, because he actually drops a card. He's like, when he tells Ripley, because he's trying to,
Yeah.
that's the thing, is he's trying to convince Ripley. She's like, no, don't go to that colony. That's where we found all the alien eggs. They're like, they're fine. But then you find out that they tried to contact the colony. No one's answering. So Burke is like, okay, maybe there is an issue. We should bring a quote unquote expert. In this case, it would be Ripley. And he gives her his card. And he's like, if you decide to change your mind and come with us, here's the card. So maybe on that card, it says Weyland-Yutani. I do see Zach doing some.
well, I
some
do see
detective work.
I do see a replica created on Etsy, and it does say Carter Burke Weyland-Yutani.
Done.
Okay.
To be honest, I trust. I feel like an Etsy person will want to make it as authentic as possible.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, it looks like it would in the movie.
It's pretty cool, actually. Imagine if in the scene from American Psycho when they're doing the business cards and like you think like they keep kind of like one-upping the next one, and then all of a sudden, boom, a card gets thrown down. It's clear. It's like futuristic, and then you just look up. It's Paul Reiser, and he's just like, what? And they're like, fuck.
He's such a fucking dweeb in this movie.
He is.
He is such a fucking dweeb.
It's funny. I find him sincerely, and I think this is a credit to Paul Reiser as an actor. He's genuinely, to me, seems so, I don't know. There is a likability to him. He is so...
Not to me.
He's such a slime ball that you find out.
Yeah. He's a cockroach in a fucking sweater vest.
Yeah. But he has these moments where it's like he really does believe everything he tells himself to forward his agenda. So it's like, oh, I have to be this sweet, genuine guy. He actually is performing it pretty well.
He is.
And I don't even mean Reiser. I mean like Burke, doing that is like, I am playing this part.
I think to me, it's really funny, the juxtaposition of him next to all of these like really badass officers. He's just he's just such a fucking dweeb.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a true coward. Because even someone like you were talking a lot about Hudson, Bill Paxton's character, he's kind of portrayed as being, and it presents himself as being kind of cowardice, but when push comes to shove, he will like throw himself into the front lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Burke is the opposite. He says he'll do these things when in reality he'll literally
throw somebody else.
Yeah, do whatever it takes for some personal gain.
Yeah, but I had that. I kind of had that same thing where I was watching this and I was like, damn. I was like, Paul Reiser's like a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only seen him in a handful of things, but I was watching this and I was like, oh yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Like he's good at playing that. Whatever his. Mm-hmm. Hence being a good actor.
Because you can see why someone like Ripley would trust him for as long as, because Ripley's so like, I mean, she literally in the last movie has to do everything she can to survive alone. So she's like very aware. She's very on edge. So for her to like meet someone like Burke and to warm up to him for the most part, and to find some common ground with him says a lot about how much of a douchebag he really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the honorable mentions that I had for this was when Ripley is telling her story to like the board.
Mm-hmm.
They're in that room and she's like telling them all about the xenomorph and
that's good. That's
the
smart.
creature that they found. And I was like, oh, it's kind of like we're meeting the monster, sort of like if we were in the position of those people, we're like hearing about what this creature was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because it is like I had seen, this was the first Alien movie I had seen as a kid. And yeah, you do get, it does kind of, it serves as a prequel, kind of like she gives you everything. So that's I didn't think of that. It's a solid.
Well, it was a good, it was a smart move too, in order for them to like, because they totally changed the way the movie was. So it's like, well, if you don't want to sit through this like really slow paced horror movie and you just want to watch this slow paced action sci-fi movie instead.
Slow paced.
You can do that. You can do that because we'll tell you the story in this slow paced action sci-fi movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you're coming around, Casey.
I'm not. I'm making fun of you. Anyway.
I have to say, I feel like we haven't crossed this bridge in a long time on the show, but if you are a longtime listener, you will know that one of the common monsters that we tend to confront in these movies is the big C.
Big C.
Capitalism. And that is on full display.
Yeah.
James Cameron is never one to shy away from his disdain for certain corporate, even like a lot of people, I feel like growing up, especially a lot of my friends, and they really leaned into the militarization of the story and how Marines are front and center. But it's not like pro-war. It's actually showing how like that approach is kind of fucked up, because it's Ripley ultimately who's like, no, you have to be caught. You have to, lead with caution, and
Oh yeah, and they just want. Well, yeah, and that one part they're just gonna go in there and fuck the whole place up, and she's like, fucking destroy, their, all this stuff. They can't just be shooting bullets everywhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like when she's telling the crew, she meets the crew for the first time, and she's like telling them what they're going in to deal with, and Vasquez is like interrupts her, and she's like, "You just tell me one thing, like where to aim or
Yep.
ooh, how to kill
Like,
him or something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Up top, Vasquez.
He's like, what is that? When that dude they wake up and he's like, Vasquez, has anyone ever mistaken you for a man? And she's like, no, have they mistaken you? I forget how the joke goes, but it's like burn, ooh, sick burn.
Oh, speaking of the Marines,
that's how Ripley like tries to fit in. Like she makes fun of that guy, and then Ripley like comes out of nowhere, and she's like, ooh, sick burn.
The camera just cuts to her, and then back to the Marines, and then the movie continues.
And that's why she's like sitting by herself in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
What's up, my fellow Marines?
Hello, my fellow Marines.
What's up, my fellow teenagers? Yeah.
That's hilarious. No, speaking of the Marines, I always forget when Sarge tells Hudson when he's like, come here. I always get this like flutter of like fear, like I'm getting yelled at. And I'm like, ah! Like I feel like I'm in trouble. I'm like a kid again. I'm like, I'm coming. I'm sorry.
Well, that guy, Apone,
Yeah.
and the actor's name is Al Matthews. And he was actually a Vietnam veteran.
Wow.
And I guess a lot of times like they're on set and like everyone wanted to run around with like their fingers on the trigger of their guns.
At everybody,
And he was like, that's like, I guess, because that was like drilled into his head.
Yeah.
And so he's like, once I got onto him, he was like, they stopped doing that shit.
Well, they should.
That's
Absolutely. I mean, you're still holding firearms. You know what I mean? Like you should still be doing it safely the way that you're supposed to.
Yeah, totally.
I have a friend who is in the Marines, and he told me, he was like, one of the things that frustrates me in so many movies is you have like a SWAT team and they're like running into a room and they always have flashlights. He's like, they wouldn't have flashlights because that would defeat the whole fucking purpose.
They're trying to be stealthy.
But it's like, you're like, oh, that's just cinematic. It just looks cool. That's so funny. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, do we have any reveals?
Do we have reveals?
Okay.
Oh, just like this movie, it's a slow burn to get to the action.
Yeah, Casey, you're all in a hurry. You want to watch the fucking movie where it's slow, but now you want to hurry. Well, we're going to take our time. We're going to go into this. We're going to look around a bit. We're going to see the wet donut on the table, and it's just going to be...
You're about to see my wet donut because I have to go to bed. Zach.
Wait, what is a wet donut?
My asshole.
No.
This is like, we should be canceled. Like we're just like, we turn into like reprehensible humans on this podcast sometimes. Just like truly terrible.
We do.
beings.
I was saying the donut thing like I was going to moon you like it was a joke. You know? I wasn't.
That's hilarious. That's so funny. That's the comedy of this is a horror comedy podcast.
Yeah, our comedy is horrific. It's awful.
Just simply horrific. Oh my God.
We're not funny.
We're just the fucking worst. Oh my God.
We are.
Okay, so they show up on LV 426. That's where
Danny's we're moving on.
These colonists are supposed to be terraforming. They have been for years, but they're not responding. So maybe it's a downed, like a downed communication tower or something. But they're going to figure it out. So the Marines go, Burke goes, Ripley goes, and they do find some. They see movement. They're like, oh, we're picking something up on the scanners. So now we do know. We at least have some kind of setup that there is life in this colony. What we don't know is that maybe it's not human.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out next week on How I Met Your Monster.
Exactly, because it's going to take us till next week to fucking get there in the movie because it's so fucking long. No, we're getting there.
Yeah. Oh wait, I lied. There is a human on the scanner, and it's Newt. It's Newt. It's the only survivor. She's the young girl who family's dead. She's probably, imagine if we found out that the alien that ends up picking her up in the water at the end is like her mom. Like,
like her mom was the host for that.
I wish
alien.
there was a way that they could have like confirmed that. Dude,
speaking of that scene, that shot is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Where the alien comes up behind her in the water.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, damn. Good. You know, what's funny is that water was so warm because like whoever like the prop guy, or I don't know who's like the water guy on the set of Aliens. I don't know.
Probably they call him Aquaman.
Oh yeah. Aquaman is in charge of the water.
Yeah.
But he wanted to keep the water warm for that little actress.
Oh.
And so they like monitored the water like all night, I guess, to like keep it at temperature. But then when they went to film, the water was too warm. And so they had to like get in there and like do the stuff and then like get out in between takes and stuff because it was too warm to be in.
Well, that's still a very sweet sentiment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hate being cold.
The actress who plays Newt turned out to just be a diva. She's like, it's too warm. Like, oh my God. One scene. She had this one shot.
But yeah, what a cool fucking shot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Newt, and hey, guess what Newt has? She's got a little doll.
She got a doll
named Casey.
It's my name.
Actually, I'm sorry, a doll head. She has a doll head.
It's very me.
Casey.
I got doll heads all over this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go like deep into the story, one thing I did love about we're
getting real deep with the doll head named Casey.
We talk about Burke being the character who ultimately, spoiler alert, is one of the real actual monsters in the movie. But one thing I never really picked up earlier, because I was just so used to the movie, the way it plays out, but I was really paying attention to the little nuances that maybe aren't so, maybe they're not nuances. It seems pretty clear, is the fact that they really try to present Bishop as the big bad in the same way that the what's his name from the first one, Bilbo, Ian Holmes.
Yeah, what's his name? Archie Bunker. What the fuck?
Yeah, we know all of his characters' names except for his character in Alien. No, but I love that they really play him up as being a villain, and Ripley is terrified of him. Ash. Yeah.
Ash.
Even to the point, like, every time we see him, he's doing something that's kind of like, they're setting up a payoff, which is fun.
Like the knife thing?
Yeah, the knife thing. And then later when they find, I guess we haven't got to that yet. But
So one random thing that I want to throw out, though, about Lance Henriksen.
Yeah.
Tell me why he looks like a robot.
Because he is.
No, like legitimately, his eyes are so round. Like, most people have like football, like almond shaped eyes. His eyes are so round and his skin looked not real.
I'll answer it for you. I think it's just fate. Because remember, in our Terminator episode,
but he was supposed to be the Terminator.
Zach let us know, that he was supposed to be.
His skin in this movie even looked like rubber. Did you guys not think so?
I'm sure that there was like makeup involved to give that. What is it?
Lance Henriksen is like specifically the one person they're like, he doesn't need any makeup. It's just he's good to go.
No, it's really weird.
What's the phrase I'm thinking of? Uncanny Valley, where it's like it's just a little off.
Yes.
But in this case, it seems deliberate because you want him to feel human, but somehow in a way that can't be explained, also inhuman. But no, I was going to mention that but we'll get to it later. But there is a moment that they really beat that point home. Beat that point home. That's not how they drive that point home and beat a dead horse. No, they drive the point home that he is probably going to be the villain like Ash. But what's funny is in a lot of movies, the most fun is when you keep getting set up, and then you like are waiting for that release, that payoff, and then it finally comes. But there's an odd satisfaction in this movie when there actually isn't a payoff, and it makes it somehow equally satisfying that he isn't a villain, but it doesn't feel like a lost opportunity.
Oh no, he's got a payoff.
Yeah.
Because you think that he leaves at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But even that, I would argue, is still a setup. Just more like ammunition to like charge what will be like, it justifies everything that Ripley feels. And then at the last moment, it's like, okay, thank God he's actually not bad.
Okay, so you're saying the fact that we find out he's not bad isn't a payoff to the setups.
Yeah, like it's kind of like a misdirection. Like the whole movie is you're waiting for that release of like, see, Ripley was right, but the fact that she was wrong is actually more satisfying because her being wrong means that he's good. And so her trust in AI is kind of like takes it 180s for the best. I don't know. It's a nice, it's oddly heartwarming, but it goes against the rules of setup and payoff.
Yeah, that's a good point, Danny. That's a good point. So yeah, let's jump to our first reveal. This is the face huggers in the tank. When they go in and Burke kind of like, I don't know, does he knock on the tank or does he just look at it? And they're like the little sucker thing.
He gets too close, and I think they even say like easy.
Yeah, and it's like a sucker fish. Those ones that are like on the tanks that like eat the algae. But that was pretty cool. It's a fun little jump scare.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that the face hugger in the original Alien was a horseshoe crab?
Really?
So when they're like dissecting it in the first movie.
Oh, okay.
It's real?
No. In the first movie, when they're dissecting the face hugger, right?
Yeah.
It's a horseshoe crab with like oysters on the bottom of it and like latex.
I can see that.
And that's what it is.
What?
These face huggers, when Bishop
are oysters with horseshoe crabs on them.
No, this face hugger is unrolled stomach tripe.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what that is?
I don't want to know.
Yeah, stomach.
It's
stomach
edible lining of animals' stomachs.
Yeah.
You guys, I've eaten that before.
Ew.
I went to a restaurant, and it's one of those restaurants where you have a little fire, and you can. It's it's like fondue, but for like brains, and they give you a bunch of raw meat. So I ate brains, I ate intestine, stomach lining, tongues.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Nice. I've eaten testicles before.
You've eaten testicles?
What do you say? Cow testicles.
What are you, goblin testicles, or there's that?
I've accidentally chewed on a testicle in my time by accident.
The fact that you said chewed on a testicle.
They're chewing.
Oh my god. No, but I've
nibbled a nut before. I've been known to nut nibble. Oh god. Why order them?
I don't know.
You ate brains.
Yeah, you ate brains and stomach lining.
I didn't eat a sack of nuts, though.
It doesn't
I feel like
matter.
There's a
It's all
difference.
the same.
You gain knowledge from eating a brain.
No, you
know?
don't. It's all
You
nasty.
gain something else from eating nuts.
That's right. How do you think Zach had Indy? Huh?
You do seem braver than normal after that meal.
So wait a second. The cow testicles that I ate, I ingested them. Indy was inside one, right?
Oh, God.
So she's from a cow testicle.
She's part cow.
Cow was the first like animal sound that she learned. So probably
she's like the sound of my people.
Oh god. Okay, so
it's nuts.
This face hugger.
Did you mean to say that?
This face hugger. This face hugger in Aliens was unrolled stomach tripe with chicken skin, and it had to be refrigerated every night in order to keep it from being this fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Imagine if they left it out.
Delicious. All right, well.
It's like the Texas Chainsaw set, just making everyone puke. Oof.
Yep. Yeah. But okay, that was our first reveal, the face hugger in the tank. And now we've got a couple honorable mentions. They are now like, they've found the group of people, quote unquote people.
Yeah.
And you start to see that like xenomorph layer with like the stuff on the walls, like they've built like their nest kind of thing. And so that's one honorable mention. Another one is when Hicks sees an egg.
Oh, but why would that be important for this podcast?
Danny, we're in the middle of a little thing called a rotten eggs triple feature.
Oh yeah.
So in case you were thinking there was going to be some deviled eggs showing up in this movie, Ripley's supposed to be like this badass, like the female leading lady that's like, you know, gonna kick the fucking shit out of the aliens, and they're all like planning what to do next, and she like, you hear like a ding, and she comes out with like a fucking tray of deviled eggs.
She's sprinkling paprika
Big
on
plate
it.
of deviled eggs.
And they
Ew.
just turn her into like the stereotypical woman from like the 50s or something.
Yeah.
It's like
Stepford Wives.
yeah. But this leads us right into our second and third reveals. Actually, we get a chest burster like in the first movie. This one actually has arms. Did you notice that?
I didn't.
Yeah, talking about he wanted the little arms.
Oh, you want a little
Oh,
arms?
yeah. He couldn't let it go. Stan Winston's like, just give him the arms. Just do it. Just put the arms on all of them.
Yeah, this one, when it comes out, it's got arms. The one in the first movie didn't have that.
I did notice that, yeah.
So they put some little tiny hands on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's funny that you called them stomach boners, because the whole design of the Xenomorphs to begin with, especially with the chest burster, and I'm specifically referring to the first movie because that's the one that H.R. Giger was directly like tied to, was he was going for, I think I'm pretty sure I mentioned this earlier, the whole phallic design of it being very
Everything is a sexual organ in this movie.
yeah, like everything in this movie, even from the Xenomorphs, or no, I'm sorry, not the Xenomorphs, from the face huggers when he's dissecting it, is there's like a very vaginal element to it, and the chest bursters are very phallic, and very much they don't
Xenomorphs
accidentally look
heads
like
are phallic.
penises. Yeah,
Their heads are phallic. The eggs are all fucking slurpy sloppy. Yeah,
like you are supposed to feel, and I know this
like
seems
wet
obvious, but
donuts.
like it is deliberate. You're supposed to make these conscious or subconscious connections to sex and reproduction, in the fact that like they literally are planting seeds, and the thing growing out of them is this very phallic thing that is kind of taking over and, you know, and bursting out of them. So it's funny, we joke about it being a stomach boner, but like it's literally what it is. Like it's literally boner.
It's a boner.
Yeah. This is hot dog talk with the boys.
And with this one, they were actually able to like punch through. So like they had the actress in her cocoon thing, but she was like laying on top of like a cardboard, or not cardboard, like fucking, I don't know, some kind of board to like separate her from the rest of her fake body. And the special effects guys were actually able to like punch through whatever like latex thing or whatever it was that the body,
because in the first one, when the chest burster comes out of John Hurt's chest, it's under the shirt. You just see like the splatter of blood. Yeah, so you don't actually, that's pretty cool. I actually didn't even kind of put that together in this one.
Yeah, they were able to punch through, and then when you see it with like the arms and stuff, they, you know, switched to like a different model that was able to be like puppeteered. That's
probably why he put hands on them. He was like, it's too much like a penis. It's too much. I get it. Giger's a genius, but it's too much.
Maybe James Cameron has hands on his penis.
Oh,
yeah, that's why he's all about the little hands. And
that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to say we should do a conspiracy theory of the week, but actually I'm pretty sure it just goes without saying that is a hard fact.
Yeah. Oh, I actually have a conspiracy theory of the week that we'll get to later.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yep. So if you weren't planning to stick around for the rest of this Aliens episode, you may want to rethink that. Okay, so that was our second reveal. Our third reveal is in that same scene. It's where the team of Marines kind of like wake up this like nest of xenomorphs, and they start crawling out from behind things.
Yeah, well, we saw that xenomorph tunnel with all the resin on it that they're not quite sure. What's clearly there's some alien work being done, some alien architecture, and then you see the aliens are literally in such a cool effect and look when it looks like the walls are moving, but it's the aliens coming out of this tunnel that they've created for themselves. Yeah, very creepy.
And one of you had mentioned this earlier, how like the design of the alien was changed a little bit to make it more movable for the actors because they're going to be like faster in this. A lot of them, when they're in those kind of like moments where they're just like crawling along the walls, were just in like black spandex suits with like a few pieces of
it was just because they probably
like,
just wanted
put on
like the
there.
reflection. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that they could move faster and stuff like that, which I thought was pretty neat.
Smart. It took me out of the movie completely.
I was like the CG aliens in Alien 3. But yeah, they just go nuts because like they weren't supposed to be using their guns, and Sarge had all the fucking ammo and all this stuff, and they got the flamethrower, and it's just a big fucking chaotic mess for them. I mean, it's exciting as a viewer.
The movie is just a mess at this point. No. So this is obviously, we mentioned this is the scene where the Marines meet the Xenomorphs. So this is also the first time that we as the audience meet the Xenomorphs. So this is a pretty pivotal moment. There is a lot of build up to the scene, but I would argue that the payoff is pretty satisfying.
Yeah. I will give you that. It does pay off. Or it is satisfying.
You know, it's a classic, like, get your people out of there. And like, it's not ready. You don't follow orders. And Ripley's like, get out of there. And they try to escape. This is what happens when you try to escape in a Cybertruck. It's gonna go wrong. Things are gonna go south. The
bumper falls off. You see a fucking xenomorph just like spray painting a swastika on the side of it.
He throws a rock at the unbreakable window and it just shatters. You see a sticker on it's like, I bought this before Elon Musk
went crazy. Before he became a fascist. Oh my god.
But yeah, that leads to it's funny. It's very satisfying because you see the Marines, specifically Hicks, who is now kind of taken over. He's taken on, like, he's the leader now that Sarge is dead. And he sides with Ripley, and there has been this sort of like, I don't know how we feel about her. Is she like with the man, and is she with the corporation? But Hicks ends up warming up to her, and he agrees with Ripley that they need to nuke the entire site because it's just not worth the risk. So everything, there's like an up and up, but that then leads us to our fourth reveal, which Zach, I'll pass the baton over to you. Why does the plan not work?
Oh, I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because their ship that they have to use and get on to get off the fucking planet is infiltrated by Don Rickles.
It's just cut to James Cameron. Cut to. Are you ready for this? Don Rickles just doing stand up, just roasting. He's like, this is the roast of Spunkmeyer.
Yeah, it's Spunkmeyer. He sees like the fucking goopy stuff.
Yeah.
And then he gets killed off screen, right?
Yeah, he doesn't actually see the alien, or we don't see him see the alien.
Right.
But it's
the pilot who's flying the plane.
Pharaoh.
Or
Corporal
spaceship.
Pharaoh. Sorry.
Corporal Pharaoh?
Yeah. I could be lying and you could just be accepting it. I'm just going to start making up names. It's like, that's Reverend Lipschitz.
Hot dog.
Lipschitz?
It's Johnny Hot Dog.
Johnny Hot Dogs.
By the end of it, Zach's like, wait a minute. There's no Johnny Hot Dog in this movie.
Like, hey, why do they call you Johnny Hot Dog? And he's like... he's got like holsters on the side of his belt, but instead of guns, they're fucking hot dogs.
No,
or like ketchup and mustard.
Oh, it's a man after my own heart.
Yeah, they don't make it off the fucking planet because Spunkmeyer and Corporal Pharaoh get blasted by the fucking.
We get one of the most iconic lines in the movie. I mean, I'm going to pass it over to
Bill Murray. Here we go.
Bill Murray, what's the quote?
Is it game over, man? Is it that part?
That's right.
I don't. Okay,
it's right, Bill.
No.
Good job, Murray, coming through once again.
Game over, man.
One thing I didn't realize in this scene is that we get not one but two iconic lines from Aliens. Zach, I'm going to throw it over to you. What's the next one?
The Xenomorphs talk. I love their language. Let's see.
It's when they say Newt is telling them they should probably get out of Dodge before the sun goes down.
Okay. And they say because vampires, they come out at night. They mostly come out at night. Oh, they mostly come out at night. Mostly.
Yes.
Cool.
All right, that's our show.
We got there.
I really thought that girl who was Newt was like the feral kid in Road Warrior.
Oh, that's so funny.
But it's not the same person, but I thought it was.
She just got typecast as feral.
Feral kid.
She's the kid from Waterworld. She's the kid from...
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I did make a note for myself. That's funny. I didn't even realize this. I wrote, Cameron likes his strategizing and busy work. And I made a note for myself that says maybe that's why the movie feels long. Yep. So maybe he likes the tactical strategizing and like which I would argue like makes it feel real. It's one kind of what sets it apart from any typical action movie is like it's so lived in. And I'm not saying it's to a fault, but I'm saying I could see and again, I'm not trying to put you on blast or anything, but like maybe why someone from your perspective might see that as a detriment to the pacing.
Yeah, because also on top of that, how the fuck do people in these movies read these blueprints? They're so confusing.
It's the same way people in Star Wars know what the fuck R2-D2 is saying. It was like bleep bloop bloop, and they're like, "We're not going to fucking there. We're not following them. We're going to Dagobah." And he's like, "Bleep bloop bleep," and he's like, "Okay, good point, but no."
Yeah, I know. But whenever they like pull these out in the Aliens, like it's like she's like, "We could be in this shaft," and like, "Oh, we got to close off this door," and it's just like fucking lines. All it's is lines on a fucking thing.
And it's like has these like abrasive sounds. You're like, "Oh god."
Yeah, and then later, like when they find out like the aliens are coming in, they're like, "Oh, we must have missed something," and Hicks is like, "You didn't miss anything." And it's like, take a look at those blueprints; they were pretty fucking confusing. There's a good chance you missed something.
Yeah, she's like, "I can't not bring something to the table. I'm going to pretend I can read this map, and I'm going to hope really, like, I'm going to cross my fingers that I'm close to correct."
Yeah, but how about that little Ripley and Hicks romance?
Oh.
Huh? With like the little here, you can wear my wristwatch. You know, it'll keep you safe. I'll be able to find you.
I'll show you how to handle my gun.
I'll show you how to use my grenade launcher.
My gun for me? Yeah. No, I like them together, and I love how their story gets paid off in part 3. It's so romantic.
Oh my god, I know.
Oh, I love it. One for the romance ages. Am I right? Where are my rom-com heads at? Isn't it great?
Poor Hicks.
Oh,
you did.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Where are we now?
We're on our 5th reveal, which is like it's like 5 and 6 kind of put together.
Yeah.
This is where. So our 5th reveal is Burke. We're finding out he is just like a complete monster. In himself, because he sets up our 6th reveal, where he lets the face huggers loose in the med lab with Newt and Ripley. Yeah. So these two reveals kind of blend together because we get the face hugger attack and we also find out that it was Burke that did it and he is just a monster. But what was really cool about this face hugger attack, other than just being like a really suspenseful scene, when it comes to the movie making part of it, it was really cool how they did it because the face hugger is like, they had one face hugger that was just like a classic like pull toy. They just like pulled a thing, and when they pulled the rope or the string or whatever, it made the arms and legs like move.
That's fun.
And so it looks like it's crawling. And then another one was just like a floppy kind of rubber thing. And so the scene where it runs across, jumps up on the little medical thing that's fallen over, and then leaps at Ripley. That's 3 different shots, and the film is like reversed, and
so they're yanking it back and then reversing the footage.
Yep. They pull the toy to make it, I say toy, but they pull the thing that's kind of like a pull toy to make it look like it's running. Then they cut, and then they put a floppy one on top of like the IV thing or something that had been fallen over. And then they reversed the film.
I love how you're getting more specific about this. You started as a medical thing, and now it's an IV thing, and then it's going to be like you're going to become like really like technical by the end of this description.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was 3 different fucking shots to get that thing leaping off of the CO2 bag. CO2 is not fucking liquid.
It's probably a saline drip.
That's
there you go.
that's what I said when I said CO2. That was my you needed to translate my R2D2 when I said CO2. I meant saline.
It was
drip.
on the bleep bloop. Oh yeah.
Anyways,
oh, that's funny. No, this is a really great scene, and what's funny is it's one of those things where it's like you come for the xenomorphs, you stay for the facehuggers, because facehuggers have kind of have become a kind of dark horse in the Alien franchise, where they are like kind of like the real monster in the movie. They are the thing that creates the beast. They're the thing, you know. I don't know. It's just it's one of the best examples of suspense in the scene. It's one of the what you just described. It's one of the most fun examples of kind of like old school camera. I don't know, like just a blend of technology and old school tricks. And then just the fact that it feels like it could be underwhelming to like, you want to see what we had just seen with the first reveal of the xenomorphs is like this, like tirade or barrage of these giant aliens and firefights, when really like we scale it down suddenly to, you know, Ripley and Newt versus this tiny little thing that should be easy to evade and avoid, when in reality it's actually, I don't know, it seems more sinister almost than a xenomorph, because it's, you know, it lurks in the shadows. And it actually does more damage in a way, because it turns you into one of the things that they're hiding from in this movie, which I don't know, that really, it's very, whereas like a xenomorph will kill you, these things violate you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And kill you. It's very much, they dehumanize you by defeat. And that's how they defeat you.
Yeah. This like wraps its tail around your neck and like gets in your mouth.
It gets in your mouth. It's like all these, like, it's very oral, and it's very, a very uncomfortable experience of having this thing like,
But when that cool shot where the facehugger is attacking Ripley and like it wraps around her neck, right? That was film that was reversed, because like they pulled it off and it looks like it's going around her. Plus she had like a ton of cables running down the back of her arm that she's like holding when she's like holding it off, so that the puppeteers could work the legs and everything.
So fun.
Yeah. It would just be so fun to shoot that.
I know there's like this whole argument of practical effects versus, you know, computer generated effects. And
there's not really an argument.
It's more of like a firefight. It's more of like a violent bloodbath. No, I'm on the fence, because I do think visual effect, like computerized visual effects, are amazing. Like you need them. They've done some great things with it. But God, when first of all, you can overdo it and then it just becomes messy. But then you look at something like this where it feels tactile. You can like it feels like a real monster. It feels more threatening because it feels like you can act, because you can actually touch it. It's like a thing. And I think that it's a hard argument to win if you're on the other side of that.
You know, there's the thing that's like, use the CGI to just enhance the things. Totally. Don't use it not to replace it, but to enhance
100%.
And I'm totally on board with that. Absolutely. But then, you know, just like we talked about Alien 3, they replace it with a full-on CGI alien, and it's just garbage. You know, if they would have maybe used their little tricks that they wanted to, they were so excited to use to enhance it, maybe it would have been a lot better.
God damn it.
But damn. Anyways, we're not here to judge.
David Fincher, can't you just make a good movie for us?
God damn it. Okay, let's jump to our 7th reveal. Burke, meeting the Xenomorph.
Mm-hmm.
And just gets fucking, this is what you wanted, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they should have done? They should have fucking captured that face hugger and stuck it on Burke's face.
Oh, that'd be fun.
They're like, you take it back, motherfucker.
And then just stare at him and wait as it's like growing inside of him.
Dude, if the face hugger's on there, like maybe you could like see his eye still, and he's like awake and he's like looking through like the fucking,
oh,
you know what I mean?
Creepy.
And they're just like watching him, and he's like,
help
anyways,
me.
help me,
Help me.
But yeah, his death is really, it just happens like real quick, you know, because he fucking betrays them all when they're getting attacked by the Xenomorphs. He like runs away and locks the door. And
always the dumbest move in a horror movie when characters are like, if only I could get away from the group. It's like
the group
why?
with all the guns.
Yeah, like you're so stupid. Like
yeah. And things are moving pretty quickly now because we're in our 8th reveal. Gorman and Vasquez come up against the Xenomorphs in the air shafts.
They come up against each other quite a bit in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're Vasquez is not a fan of Gorman kind of being this inexperienced figure that is now he's literally in charge of their whole mission. And then he looks down on all of them with his, you know, I don't know. He is like truly a representation, just like Burke is a representation of the man, this corporation. But in the end, whereas Burke turned out to be a real moose knuckle, Gorman at least is willing to kill Vasquez. No, I'm kidding. He does in effect kill her.
I've been wanting to do this since the day I met you.
Yeah, we think it's like this hero moment, but he's like, finally. He doesn't even know that Xenomorph is there. No, but he does have
he gets his redemption moment.
Yeah, it's a redemption. It's kind of a hero moment, and he and Vasquez have they have a hero's death.
Yeah.
Because they get to kill some Xenos on the way.
They like push the button on the grenade together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a sweet little moment. But yeah, Gorman definitely, like, you know, he's redeemed because when they needed him most earlier, he fucking froze up and whatever. Yeah. And then he's like, okay, I'll do what I can. I'll finally fucking kill my arch nemesis.
It's the moment we were waiting for.
Shit, what was I just gonna say about Vasquez and Gorman? Oh,
one's
no,
it wasn't about asshole. The other one's a blue collar badass.
It wasn't about Gorman or Vasquez. It was about Burke. He is like Trump. He's like fucking Trump, because he says when Ripley is telling everybody that like this is what his plan was all along, he says, it's a paranoid delusion. It's really sad. It's pathetic. Like basically saying it's a witch hunt. Like
it's literally the way Trump talks.
Exactly. I was like, this
and
is.
And you realize his first when they're like trying to avoid like death and destruction, his first idea is like, quick to the Cybertruck. And then everything goes to shit after that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's all about like fucking corporations and shit, but then they're like, oh, don't use your guns because you'll blow up the fucking gas tanks or something. He quickly abandons the oil and gas industry and goes right for the fucking electric vehicles. Oh my god.
You voted for this, people.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to talk about that. Okay. So we get a few things that happen. Fucking at this point, Bishop is gone. He went and he's going to fix the radar thing to get the ship back here. Newt falls in the water like a little dummy. She gets captured by the fucking Xenomorph, gets cocooned.
One thing I don't understand is why didn't they just go down the same shaft? Like when Newt fell down there, why didn't Ripley just
follow her down? Could she fit?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm asking because like it was like
what are you saying, Zach?
That turny thing. I'm saying that Newt is smaller than Ripley. What the fuck?
Wait, back it up. What are you saying?
Ripley's chunky beaver.
And to get that great reference, check out our last episode.
Check out our freaky commentary on Patreon.
Oh, it's not even I don't know where I am anymore. I've just lost all sense of reality.
If you want to hear us talk about chunky beavers, freaky on Patreon.
Yeah, we get real freaky.
We get real freaky. But yeah, no, I don't know why she didn't follow her down there.
That's the thing. Once it's funny, we talk about how there is a slow burn element, but once this movie starts moving, it is moving. So when I was taking notes for this, I was like, my brain wasn't even. So I'm glad you noticed that, because my brain was just like, like it was like flash, like strobe effect of like, oh, and then this happens. Oh, and then yeah.
Well, the little girl who plays Newt, she falls down that thing, and then they had like a slide for her to like slide down, right? And she's a little girl, and so she kept falling like on purpose. Like when they were doing the scene, slide. She would let go so that she could go down the slide. And I guess like James Cameron had to go up to her and be like, okay, you got to stop doing that because we need to get this shot so we can
quit being a child.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fun little thing. She just wanted to go down the slide. But Ripley and Hicks and Bishop all go back to the ship, and Ripley's like, hey, I got to go back for Newt. And this is where we get like the fun. I don't know. It's quick. Like Danny, you were just saying, everything moves so fast, but like Ripley's getting her shit together. She's like mounting the gun on the fucking other gun and the flamethrower on the thing. And, she takes off her like shirt, and she's got the t-shirt with the stuff. And
God, she's so fucking cool.
And here we are, guys. This is the moment you've been waiting for. We see a close-up of her Reebok shoes as she is
the moment you've all
getting
been
ready.
waiting for.
She's on this elevator. It's a fucking badass moment.
So she's just a corporate shill too.
No,
fuck
get
you,
this.
Ripley.
It's conspiracy theory.
It is time for the How I Met Your Monster conspiracy theory of the week.
Hit it.
Telling me that NASA is going to kill the president of the United States with an earthquake.
Not exactly the kind of thing a Secret Service agent can just throw himself on top of. The whole Vietnam War was fought over a pin. Howard Hughes lost to Aristotle Onassis. This is the third issue this year. Conspiracy theory.
Guys, I think you're going to find this is the best conspiracy theory we've ever had on our show.
Shut up.
Okay. James
Cameron,
Cameron, before he made Aliens, made Terminator, right? In Terminator, there is a close-up of a Nike shoe.
Oh yeah, we talked.
Michael
about
Bihn's
this.
character, Kyle Reese, wears Nikes, right? In this one, Ripley is wearing Reebok. Okay, his second movie, right? Danny, you told us before that before James Cameron was a filmmaker, he was a truck driver.
Yeah.
Right? Now I'm going to tell you, I'm going to throw in a few more little nuggets to that history that may or may not be true, but we will, we'll see. We'll see.
It might not even be true, but let's just add it to the theory.
James Cameron, in my theory, owned a leather business, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he used to drive his trucks to deliver the leather to different companies, right?
Sure.
This is just something that you've completely made up.
Dude.
This is the conspiracy theory of the week.
Aren't they all fucking made up?
On a bi-weekly show.
The things that we normally say have truth to them.
James Cameron was a truck driver, right?
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
And he owned a leather company.
He owned the leather that supplied. Okay, maybe he didn't own the leather. Okay, I'll change it. Okay.
Thank you, please.
Let's say that James Cameron was a truck driver, and he found that the majority of his loads that he was delivering were leather for shoe companies, mainly Nike and Reebok, right? He drove the leather to the companies to make Nike and Reebok shoes. But then as he got older, he started to feel guilty for he didn't kill all the animals, but for all the animals that had to die in order to make the leather.
He was transporting the cows that made the leather that made the shoe.
Oh, no. I have to go back to my original theory. He owned the leather shop because that's why the Nike and the Reebok shoes are prominently placed in shots in his movies because he wanted to sell more shoes so that his leather company could sell more products and
so James Cameron is quote unquote the man that he has been fighting in all of his movies.
Well, yeah, because then he realizes because then as he ages, he realizes that he is the bad guy here, right? Because it's his leather. So he realizes that he's killing all these animals for leather. He's the corporate man. He's not being who he wants to be.
Yeah.
So then he starts making all these fucking Avatar movies, which are basically like Fern Gully, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like saving the planet. I don't know anything about the movies, but I think they're like saving the planet.
Yeah.
They're like, whatever. Solid.
That's it.
I thought it was the best one we've ever had.
How do you come up with this?
I like it. And she's wearing Reeboks, and Reebok and Rocksteady are the two are the henchmen from Ninja Turtles.
Bebop and Rocksteady.
Bebop and Rocksteady.
Oh, what did I say? Reebok. All right, let's stick with your conspiracy theory because mine went out the window with me forgetting.
Yeah, Zach's didn't go out the window at all.
Man, you guys really thought that was a bad conspiracy theory.
It's the best one there is so far. It's nice because it's a conspiracy theory that is more like the emotional journey that James Cameron went on to discover himself. You know, he could have sold out. He was on the verge of selling out to become the person that he was fighting against his whole career. And then it's a testament to Avatar. Made $2 billion at the box office. It says a lot about being anti-capitalism.
Anti-leather.
Oh, and also anti-leather.
Okay. Anyways, I guess we'll move on.
Don't let Casey yuck your yum. That's one of our solid conspiracy theories of the week.
Okay,
Casey.
Thank you, Danny.
Apologize.
Apologize.
Can you imagine if I just like Casey apologize?
I'm not moving on until Casey apologizes.
I will leave.
Okay. So Ripley is in badass mode. I mean, she's been badass this whole movie, but now she's like got the classic, like, you know, what we see her in her outfit with her flamethrower and all that stuff. And she's looking for Newt. She finds Newt in the goopy stuff and
some goop Newt.
And she encounters the Queen, and she finds out she's in this big fucking nest of
so cool
alien eggs, and it's such a fucking cool scene.
Well, before they even meet the Queen, guys, we get our first egg hatching.
Oh yeah, it's coming out at
in a Rotten Eggs triple feature, guys. We got to flag it. If we don't, what are we doing here? Am I right?
That's right. We see the egg hatching, and the facehugger is about to jump at Newt.
Oh, and that's actually a pivotal moment. I was kind of being silly, but that's when Newt screams, and it's what gets Ripley's attention.
Oh, you're right, because she had lost her little tracker bracelet that Ripley gave her. Yep,
her air tag.
Her air tag. But what a cool interaction with Ripley and the Queen alien, as like she has her flamethrower and she sees the Queen, and the xenomorph like warriors are coming off to the side, and she points her flamethrower at the egg, and the Queen calls off the warriors, and then there's like a thing, and then the facehugger starts to open up, and Ripley like cocks her head like, oh, I thought we had a deal, and you are trying to pull a fast one on me, and she's like, fuck you, and just torches the whole thing. It's such a cool moment.
Great.
But that's our 9th reveal. Ripley and Newt meet the Queen.
Hell yeah.
And then they get back up to the top. The fucking Queen takes the fucking elevator. Just love that.
What if there was like like those scenes where like cuts to people, like it's like the classic elevator music playing, and the music cuts out of the movie and just
ding 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 ding,
and then cut to
or it's like there's a fucking elevator man who has to like hit the foot. He's like freaked out.
31st floor, menswear.
But we get up to the top, and you think Bishop's gone. You think he's fucking left her there, but he really comes back and saves the day.
I love Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop is so good.
I love Bishop too.
But they get away, and that's it. That's the end of the.
Yeah, they did it.
They get back to the ship, and all's well, and they get in their cryopods, and they go home.
Oh, do you cry every time when Ripley has that moment with Bishop, and she's like, "Bishop, you did okay," and he just like a little golden retriever. He's like, "I did." I'm like, "Oh, you did. Yep. You don't have to ask."
So good.
Oh, it's such a like. I hate the moment that we're about to get into right here. It's our 10th and final reveal. I was kidding when I said it was all over because the Queen has hitched a ride, and she spikes Bishop through his fucking chest with her tail, and it's such a fucking heartbreaking scene because just like you said, Danny, like you feel for Bishop in that moment because he's like, oh, like you know, because he knew that Ripley didn't like him and all this stuff, and he's like,
because the whole movie we're feeling and seeing whatever Ripley feels and sees. So we're also very like, you know, suspicious of Bishop. So right when we finally have like the safety net is up and we can like let our guard down around Bishop and be like, oh, we like you quite a bit.
Yeah. And then he just gets spiked through the chest.
Do you think it's a xenomorph, a baby chest burster? Because it's kind of the way it's set up is like it's the same effect, but it's obviously her tail. But I like how it's kind of like a little mirror.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. Like I don't know if I've ever thought about it. Like because now I just know it's the tail.
It's the only move they got. It's something through the chest.
Yep.
That's their signature move. Chest boners.
But it like fucking rips him in half.
Yeah.
It rips him in half, and then we get our classic Ripley versus the fucking Queen alien scene, and she gets in her loader, which is cool. I used to have that fucking toy when I was a kid.
Oh, I had a friend who had that. I was so jealous of him.
Oh, it was me, wasn't it?
Cool. Yes.
Yeah. Here's a it might be a hot take. I don't know.
Don't you dare.
What?
I'm just kidding.
I want to hear what you're thinking.
I don't know that you don't like this part.
No, I know. I
do you think people who steal Hot Pockets call themselves call it hot takes? I got a hot take for you, and they're like, "What?" And it's like, "I stole this Hot Pocket." And they're like, "Oh, I get it."
Hot Pockets are frozen,
but they microwaved it already, so they wait until someone microwaves, and they're like, "Ha."
Oh, they steal it from the microwave. Yeah. The break room at work.
They chest burst it from behind, so they come in from the back of the microwave.
So you as much as I love your joke, Danny, I would like to hear Zach's hot take.
Well, okay. So I'm setting the scene. I've stolen a Hot Pocket. Here we go.
Okay.
No, I feel like the confrontation with her and the Queen in the loader, like it could have benefited from music.
For sure.
I like a lot of times in movies where they don't have the music and you just hear like the actual, like what it would sound like, whatever. But in this case, I feel like a little bit of exciting music would have just amplified it.
Yeah,
like a song, it's very... like beat it, beat it, beat it.
You know,
to the
danger zone.
But like even the end of this, like oops, it almost has like that.
Did it again. Play with your heart. Got lost in the game. Oh baby, baby.
What's that? Isn't there like a song like "The Bitch Is Back" or something like that? Like fucking.
Don't stop me now. We're gonna have a good
time. But like the music in this you know, towards the end of the movie, it almost has like that Terminator kind of sound where it's like the you know, and I feel like that music would have been good.
I can see it both ways because the absence of music makes it, there's a very rawness to it that makes it feel real, and the stakes feel like they're elevating because it's like, oh shit, we're like kind of transcending movie mode. We're now like, her life is on the line. Like maybe this could, you know, we know this franchise up to this point is like in the last movie, Ripley's the only one to live. It's kind of a tragedy.
Yeah.
So
my God, I hate my fucking neighborhood. You guys hear that?
It's very distant.
Fucking 4-wheelers. I live in like a fucking neighborhood, and there's these fucking people down the street that just ride 4-wheelers up and down the street.
Do you remember where I used to live?
All
the fucking motorcycles that would go
there
by.
used to be a ghost.
Oh yeah,
13 ghosts lived on her street.
Happened all the time.
I do miss the 13th ghost.
Well, hopefully you guys can't hear that too much, but
I can't. I understand where you're coming from. I think a big part of it is like because she's in the loader, she can't move quickly. So like it's slow. And so like the music would have helped kind of make it a little bit more intense, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's exactly kind of where I'm at. It was like, like when she does those movements, yes, it's big and she's fighting the thing, but it is like a slow movement, and the music would have just made it feel a little more.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. It's hard for me to pick a side because I think both would have worked. If there was a score there, it probably would have been awesome. I wouldn't have been any problem with it, but
we love
the
it
lack of it is good too.
Yeah.
I will say with that scene, something I love about this scene is how slow it is, because I feel like nowadays I could see how it might be hard to get that into the final edit of a movie, to be like,
we want speed ramps.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Like, speed ramping feels like such a producerial thing, where it has to be fast, otherwise how will people know it's intense?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about this scene, because it's so grounded. She's literally using the loader that we set up earlier, where it's just to move fucking like cargo. It's not.
It's like her in a forklift is what it is.
Literally, and that's what's so cool, because like
a futuristic forklift.
Yeah, like, and you realize by the end of the movie that it's not like the institutions that are gonna save us in these moments. It's the people. It's the individuals. So like you literally have, and that's not like anything against the Marines in this movie. You can be anti-war and pro-troops. Am I right? But it's the fact that they relied on this heavy artillery to take down these monsters, when in reality, what you need is someone who has, street smarts, like Ripley.
And a forklift certificate.
And a forklift certified. and a forklift that can swing like a fucking gnarly uppercut to win.
Imagine you're just riding around on a forklift, though. She's just doing donuts, spinning around.
It's the scene from Austin Powers, and she's like driving toward the queen, and the queen's like, no! She's like slowly coming at her.
Starts to slowly lift up the spike. And then just like pierces the Xenomorph queen. She's like,
it's like a slow stab. Like, just move, get out of the way. Even Ripley's like, move, do something. Jesus.
Just like pushes it towards the airlock, and it like
it's like she kind of just walked off to her death. I didn't really push her at that point. It's so slow.
That's so funny.
That's hilarious. But it's oddly satisfying, and maybe it's more satisfying watching it in 2025 because it was filmed in 86, that you see how you can abuse that. I don't know, it's such a weird niche little issue that I'm talking about, like, oh, movies are too fast. Like, what does that even mean? But like,
no, I totally get it. Like action movies, sometimes you can't even tell what's going on because they edit them so quickly.
Yeah, because that's not why we're not invested in the speed of it all, in the intensity. We're invested in the fate of the character. So however they get out of the situation is what I'm more interested in, not how aggressively it's kind of put on.
Well, portrayed. I'm sure there was, I don't know the movie offhand, but I'm sure there was one movie, I mean, clearly that did it first, right? They like the quick cuts with the action, and people were like not used to that. And so then you see that and you're like, oh my God, this feels so whatever. And then just like Hollywood, it's like that snake eating its tail or whatever, they're just like more.
Yep.
And so now here we are. No, I totally get it.
Bring back slow third acts.
Mm-hmm.
If Aliens has told us anything. Yeah, and first acts. Second act, ramp that speed up. Go to fucking town. You fucking put that foot on the gas and you press it. But once we get to the third act, let's pull it back again.
We'll just watch the first act on regular speed, third act on regular speed, and the second act we'll do it on 3 times speed.
It's like, and then you can put it's just like a picture, like just ramping up the whole movie. It's basically the same energy.
You guys, that's it. That's aliens.
That's it. There is one more little note that I have.
Oh,
and
yeah. What do you
it's
got?
very appropriate for the triple feature that we are truly in the midst of right now.
Okay.
Stick around for the end credits. At the very end of the credits in this movie, you can hear the sound of an egg hatching.
Can you really?
Yeah.
No way. That's cool. Like someone's like cracking eggs, like Ripley's making her fucking deviled eggs.
It's the scene from Ghostbusters when the eggs start opening and cracking on Sigourney Weaver's counter.
That's why you did Bill Murray.
Yes.
I didn't.
Is the
Sigourney
spirit
Weaver,
of Bill Murray's character
Ghostbusters.
from Ghostbusters channeling
I try
you?
to bring something to the show, and every time
You brought Bill Murray. I will. All right. I do want to go on the record, and listeners, you can go rewind this podcast. Just put it in your VHS tape, hit rewind, and just wait about 30 minutes for it to finish.
If you have a specific videotape rewinder, it goes faster.
Yeah. But then you have to put it back in to watch. Yeah. It's a process.
Yeah.
Rewind, go back, and you will see that, Casey, I thought it was hilarious. I actually thought it was a really good impersonation.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm the bad guy here. Let's move on.
Yeah. Let's be honest here.
All right. Well, now it's time for us to pick our favorite reveals in James Cameron's Aliens.
What's going on here?
I don't see anything anywhere.
That's how they get you. They're under the goddamn ground.
All right, here we go. I will count us off with a speed round recap of our official reveals. Are you guys ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Okay. Here we go. Speed round recap. Number 1. Face.
I love this. I love this. I love it when you do this.
Face hugger gets a water tank. Shit. Shit. Oh shit. Okay. Number 1.
All right, don't laugh. It's hilarious, but don't laugh.
Number 1. Face hugger gets a water tank boner for Burke. Number 2. Baby Xeno's day out.
You're fired. I know this is like your show and your idea, and you birthed it and chest bursted it, but you're fired.
Number 3. The Marines wake the nest. Number 4. Spunkmeyer and the pilot get pegged.
I thought it would be like Spunkmeyer finds Spunk or something like that.
Oh, yes.
Spunkmeyer minds Spunk.
Mm-hmm. Number 5, Burke is a bastard. We found out he's a bad guy. Number 6,
Classic.
face hugger attack. Number
Boring.
7,
He
number
went from
7,
Baby Xeno's day out to
to face hugger attack.
Scene 13.
Number 7, Burke meets his maker. Number 8,
That's fine.
Number 8, Gorman and Vasquez in the Tunnel of Love.
Oh, that's good. Corbin finally gets to kill Vasquez.
Number 9, Ripley and Newt meet the Queen laying uncut gems.
Oh, Zach, we need to take the computer away from Zach. You have lost privileges.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Oh
And then number 10, Bishop milks it.
Somehow the grossest talk we've had. Oh god.
Oh,
All right.
God. So,
Perfect.
what do you guys got? What's your favorite?
So what's funny is this is the first time I haven't like I usually just write it down like which is my favorite, but I was so on the fence that I was like I'm gonna wait until we go through the reveals as a refresher, and then but I truly did not none of that latched into memory. So now I have to go back to my list to be like, what? Who are the reveals?
Well, I'll tell you what mine is.
What's yours, Casey?
Mine is the when Newt and Ripley meet the Queen Uncut Gems.
Laying uncut gems.
Laying uncut gems. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
like
I'm right there with you. That's my favorite too.
Yeah.
Like, because like we've seen the Xenomorphs. Oh my god, I was agreeing with you and then I took over. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's just very over the top. Yes, we've seen the Xenomorphs and the face huggers and the chest bursters and then we've got this big queen and she's just really big and she got teeny little arms.
We finally got to see the tiny arms. What a payoff.
Tell me, Zach, why is it your favorite?
Oh no, that's it because we've seen the Xenomorphs before, but it's the tiny arms. We've seen the Xenomorphs before, but this is like a new, much bigger. She big.
Big mama.
And it's just like you find out where the eggs are coming from, and it's just like a whole
vagina.
Mm-hmm. Her penis vagina.
Got a big bagussa.
Yeah. Her uncut vagina.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Danny, did you pick one yet?
Yeah, I am going to shake it up a little bit on this one. And by that, I mean, I'm going to shake with excitement because I'm on the same page with you guys. It's got to be the Queen.
You dork.
That was such a dad thing to do. I'm going to shake it up because I'm shaking with excitement.
You guys ready to rock and roll?
Put on your boxing gloves. We're about to hit the road.
What?
I see nobody picked Baby Xeno's Day Out. That's
that was my favorite for your...
that wins pun. We need to have a new section where it's like best Zach puns.
Yeah, because that was hilarious. I used to watch Baby's Day Out every weekend at my grandma's house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good fucking movie.
And you were talking about movies that revolutionized, like that changed the game in terms of like quicker editing. And I immediately, when you said that, I thought of The Matrix. And then when you mentioned I thought of The Matrix and you mentioned Baby's Day Out, of course, I thought of Joe.
Why am I not Pantiliano or
Pantiliano? Yeah,
Pantiliano.
Joe. Yeah, why is it Joey Pats?
Joey Pats. Yep.
Who, of course, kidnaps a baby in that movie.
Yeah,
and that's his arc is. I don't remember, but it can't be good.
All right.
Can't lead with that and then end with a positive arc.
Well, now it's time for a segment that we like to call The Real Monster.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
You're a monster.
I'm not the monster here. You are. You and the rest of that fairy tale trash poisoning my perfect world. Now tell me, where are the others?
Eat me.
I will start us off. I've got 5.
Oh, too many.
I've got Burke's suit jacket collar.
Oh, wait.
It's like a turtleneck on a suit jacket.
Oh,
it's like got a little thing. It's like it's fucking weird.
He's a fucking dweeb.
Yeah.
Pure dweeb alert.
Yeah.
I've got, we've talked about this earlier, but I've got capitalism. That's
Yep.
we've that's a go-to. I've got Hudson for not considering Bishop's feelings when Bishop is like, like, I'll go.
Let me stab your hand.
I'll go or something. And Hudson's like, yeah, let him go. Basically, he's like, let him be he's the robot. He's the android. He's the artificial human. You go. And I was like, dude, like he's artificial, but he still has fucking feelings, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like he's programmed, right?
Well, he even says earlier, he says, I may be synthetic, but I'm not stupid.
Oh, yeah. That's a good line.
We make them act and think and look like humans, but we don't treat them like humans. What does it say about humans?
Well, and speaking of Bishop, my next real monster is the pipe that he has to go in and crawl through. And they fucking he gets in there and then they fucking weld it back up. Oh my God. Talk about The Descent is a movie that comes to mind that I just fucking hate it.
Yeah.
This one where he's got his arms in and he's this, and he's going to do that for like an hour. He said it's going to take him like fucking.
And the fact is he is programmed to be human. So he may know he's fine, but that he also may recognize claustrophobia and
anxiety.
Oh, fuck.
I almost wish I don't want to linger on that moment too long for personal reasons. Like it's your real monster. But for the sake of him as a character, I almost wish we almost went a little deeper with him to kind of feel for that a little bit.
The movie was already 20 minutes too long.
we need like 10 more minutes of him crawling through that pipe.
Crawling through a pipe. And then my last real monster is Hicks for not properly disposing of his needle in an approved biohazard bin.
Ooh,
he takes what I assume is like a painkiller shot at the end when he's on the thing, and he just throws his needle on the ground. I was like, dude,
someone's gonna step.
That's dangerous. That. Someone's gonna step
Newt's
on
gonna step on that
in their bare feet.
Yeah. Ready or Newt, you got
hepatitis,
whatever disease. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Why was that so funny? Why do you think that was so funny?
Ready or Newt, you've got hepatitis. Oh Jesus! Man. Okay,
movies. Am I right?
All right. Well, what are your guys' real monsters?
So there's nothing original here. I only have two. The first one is I simply wrote capitalism. Mm-hmm. It is a tried and true real monster on the pod. We've been going strong for about 4 years. No, over 4 years now at this point. And capitalism has come up quite a bit. And my second one is my claustrophobia. Mm. And simply for those close-up shots of Bishop shimmying through the pipes.
Wow, you guys are on the same page there.
Yeah, when you were saying that, I was actually texting my lawyer. I'm like, is there a way that I can sue Zach for stealing, for theft?
Oh, for theft.
Yeah, but then I realized I don't have a lawyer because I couldn't afford it. I was just texting myself.
Yeah.
I was texting ChatGPT. I was like, hey, pretend you are a lawyer.
You're fucking lawyer. You had a lawyer, but he's a hot take and he stole your hot pockets and ran away.
But he's in jail now for robbery.
Casey, what do you got?
My first real monster is me for trying to do a really good Bill Paxton impression.
Casey.
But I have to can I refute? Is that what I'm looking for? It was literally a great impression.
I'm just trying to make Zach feel bad. My real monster. My real monster.
You have succeeded.
Thank you.
The guilt on this episode is cuts deep.
Wrong.
Yeah.
I only have one, and it's cigars.
Cigars.
They're just gross.
Okay.
And Sarge is just
chews on
it,
one.
and it makes me want to vomit.
How do you smoke a cigar? So I was listening to a podcast earlier. They said you don't actually inhale a cigar.
Correct.
Well, I don't know, but either way, Sarge wasn't smoking the cigar. He was chewing on it because some people don't.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
guess you don't inhale them. You just. But Sarge was just chewing on it, and it's just so gross.
Oh, so you like hold the smoke in your mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like a taste thing. They like have like.
So you're like cream pieing a cigar?
Cream pieing?
Or is it snowballing? What's the one where you like...
Snowballing is in your mouth. Cream pieing is in your holes.
Cream pieing is when it's coming out of the hole.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad we've established this.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Got it.
Snowballing is in the mouth, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Now we're on the same page. Now we figured it out.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Okay, guys, those are good real monsters. I think that's
great, yeah.
Pretty gross.
Snowballed cigars and...
So good.
All right. Well, now it is time for our last segment, Would You Survive?
And here we go.
No.
I would die so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so aggressively.
Yeah.
That it would be like laughable.
I just let too much stuff in my mouth, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just too, not picky.
Yeah, the facehugger is coming at me and I just open my mouth. I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
You guys are like, okay.
I'm kind of into it.
I'm like, Queen Alien? Where's Daddy Alien?
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, I'm dead. I'm too horny for that. Everything's phallic. Everything's, looks like vaginas and lube. And no.
Yeah, Casey and I are like going off on like, we're just like, so actually there's like a metaphor about like the phallic, as we're saying it, like, just getting the face huggers are choking us.
We're like, choke me, daddy. Oh, yes.
Oh, that's so funny.
Zach, would you survive?
Yeah.
No.
Zach's like, hard? Yes.
I probably wouldn't welcome the phallic things into my mouth, but I would probably get them either way.
Zach, you're in a safe space. You don't have. We're not shaming you. There's no kink shaming here. You can just take it.
And guys, that is it. That is Aliens. Yeah, we'll just move on. I'm going to end the episode right here. Yeah, guys, that's Aliens.
Pretty cool.
And then, guys, so this is number 2 in Rotten Eggs triple feature. Danny, what's next? Talk about
we're gonna
monsters, classic
about heavy
monsters.
hitters, classic monsters. We're about to hop onto a helicopter that doesn't have any freaking the seatbelts don't even work. Watching Jurassic Park, everybody.
Ooh.
If you didn't notice,
I just got chills.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to watch Jurassic Park and talk about some dinosaurs, which are monsters.
Oh, I'm so excited. It's also great because there have been a few times where we're like, does this constitute as like a monster movie? You know, one movie that comes to mind that we've done is Jingle All the Way. But I'm not going to. This is 100% a monster movie, and I am so excited in our next episode to explain why I feel so strongly about that in vivid detail.
Okay.
So make sure you listen. Make sure you tell your friends. Guys, tell people about this. I know it's annoying when people are like, share, like. Do it, though, if you don't mind. Like, if you feel like I could share this post, I can like it, I can comment on it. It actually helps us. Like, I mean that genuinely. Like, it just there's an algorithm. There's a science to social media. For whatever reason, it works. So if you can, thank you. And if you can't, thanks for listening anyways.
Yes. Follow us on social media if you are so inclined. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Blue Sky. And we even have a Patreon page, which we have mentioned a couple times throughout this episode. It's patreon.com/howimetyourmonster. And sign up to be a monster meter, and you'll get some cool stuff. And where can our listeners find you guys on social media?
I am on Instagram at WolfMotherCasey.
Awesome. Danny?
You can find me on Instagram and on Blue Sky, and it's just at my name, Danny Salem. It's DANNYSALEMME. 2 M's like the candy. Melt in your butt, not in your hands.
I love it. I love you. I love that sign off, Danny.
Thank you.
I've never heard it before.
You're always blushing when I say that.
I know,
so
oh my God.
I'm like, wow, oh my God. Should I stop? This is weird.
And you can find me on social media at Zach Winsick. Make sure to tune in next time for Jurassic Park. And don't get eaten by a xenomorph or get sucked on by a face hugger.
Yeah, unless you're Casey and Danny, in which case, let's fucking go.
Let's do it.
Let's
do it.
Bring it on. Challenge accepted.
Thank you all for listening. Now go meet some monsters.